Okay, let's see here. Volume looks good. Yep. All right, so let's get this set up. Let's see here. What up, Tris? I gotta get some stuff set up here for work real quick, and we'll be good to go. Man, my allergies are bad this morning. What up, John? How's the day been? Well, we're just getting started. All right, so we should have that. Yep. Yoink that. Come over here. Do a get pool. Vim into the environment file. Paste that in. Save that. Quit out of, or go to the README, I guess. Node. All right, here we go. All right, let's kick her off. Good day, y'all. We're just getting ready to get started here. Okay. That'll be good. Let's get the music changed. What's up, Colchis? I've been writing some Gleam today. It's super fun, but I'm also a little confused with how I can premature return error. So there's no early returns in Gleam. So you basically want to look into the use keyword. So for example, if we look here, this is a good example. Let me check my font size. 23, so we can go up one more. There we go. All right, so if we look at this example, we have this result.try. So what this is saying is m.get can return an error, right? And result.try with this arrow and use syntax is basically saying, hey, give me the OK value of our result, or if it's an error, I want you to return from this scope immediately. Result.try and result.map, along with the use syntax, is what you're going to want to look into. All right, so we left off on Friday in a place where we were able to fetch data, but we're not deserializing it correctly, which is the story of my life. Let me just respond to a work message real quick. All right. Yeah, I'm using use, but I wonder if there's a better solution for a use case. So I wrote RGB to hex function. It feels a little dirty. Do you have like a, can you throw it in a gist and we can look at it? Or if it's open source? Let's see where we're at here. I can't remember. Let's see if we were even building. That's cool. What happens if we run? All right, so we got an unexpected format, right, because I think we get a list. I started using Yak as a REST client last week, and I put in a feature request, and the author got it in like 3 days. Really, really impressed. One second, chat. I'm just making sure I don't leak any environment variables. I might have to get a fresh access token. I don't know, let me find out. No, I'm good. Okay, sick. And let me make sure that's turned on. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So totally recommend checking out Yak for a REST client. It's been really nice to use so far. And like I said, I submitted some feedback and I got a feature added in 3 days. That doesn't look like it did anything. All right, so we're getting this structure back that has data on it with an array. So we need to adjust our deserializer for that because we're making the assumption we're just getting a single one of these. So, what is this? Client. Yeah, we don't need this code anymore. You can delete that. I should post on the Discords that I'm streaming. Let's make a cool little hold on, chat. I gotta have another page open here. Okay. I see you. All right. So we were gonna make posts before I got distracted there. Me getting distracted never happens. Create an image for a Twitch stream titled Gleam and Coffee. I don't know. For a programming stream using the Gleam programming language. More work on our Gleam Twitch SDK. Come hang out. See if this does good. Oh, let's go. That's so good. All right. So we need to jump over to our client file, our user file, and we need to decode a list. Thank you for the follow. Super appreciate you. So we really need to let's write like a function like decode get users, And this is going to take JSON. And it's going to return how we want to do this. We must need like a generic data decoder. You're all good. You're all good. Take your time. So let's just say we have, I don't know. Let's make a type here. We'll probably move this into the client, but say type Twitch API response. And this will have some sort of data. And we'll be in here, and this will be it's going to have a data field that is a list of data. Right, this needs to be a capital. Great. Hey, Haley. Happy Monday. How are you? What up, Davey? It's your friend Dave. Dave, when are we going to the oyster bar? I heard. How's that been? So we really want to say something like function decode Twitch API response. I'm just gonna get JSON. That would be JSON, and then we need a decoder, data decoder. And this will be a decoder that I think we can get from JSON. That must come from dynamic then. Yeah. Let's go look up the docs for that. Decoder is a T. Yeah, that'll take data. And it's going to return a Twitch API response of data. Thank you for the sub there, Peter. Super appreciate you. 60% renovation, like of the entire property and house, or like that's what where your time's been going? Let's vertically split this and go look at how we did our decoder before. Yeah, okay, so we want to do thank you, Peter. I super appreciate that. Probably the property. Well, I'm glad you're handy. dynamic dot decode 1. Oh boy. Well, let me know if you want me to come down some weekend and help. Just gonna take a Twitch API response, and then we're gonna have this dynamic dot field, and this is gonna have data, and it'll be a dynamic dot list, which probably takes a decoder, if I had to guess. Yep. So this is going to say of data decoder. What did we do wrong? Oh, this will be a result, huh? Oh, what am I doing? Arrow brackets? Oh, let's see what this infers to return. Oh, this, I see. Okay, let's actually rename this. And this will be underscore decoder. And this is going to return a decoder, right? Yeah. So I could annotate this and say like, hey, this is going to return a decoder of user. Yeah. So we'll say this is going to return a decoder of Twitch API response data. Colorful Gleam. All right, we'll look at this in just a second. So we have that decoder, and then down here we say something like Twitch API response decoder. Yeah, that's actually part of the reason why we're building this Twitch client in Gleam is because I want to hook it up. I actually use Apple Music, but that's part of the intent. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build it so that this bot or this like reward redemption works, the keyboard redemption. And then we're going to add integration with Apple Music and then slowly start deprecating stream elements bot in favor of our own bot using this client. And yeah, I'll be using Gleam to power my Twitch stream into the future here. So this should take so this will be like of, and this will be we do that. I guess we don't need the data here, right? We do need that. I think so too. I really, really enjoy Gleam. I don't know if I still like OCaml more than Gleam, but I really, really like Gleam. I think when Gleam gets if and when Gleam gets a native compilation and potentially I would love to see like some simple macro meta programming story. Like I hesitate to use the word simple because those two things don't go hand in hand, but if any team were to figure out how to have a simple API and implementation of that, it would be these folks. And if they could do that, I think that would be it. Write a proposal. Listen, I am not a language designer, and what y'all have done, Haley, like yeah, this is a very lovely language. Um, but I can feel like even like being able to like dynamically generate like JSON decoders, like something simple like that. Like even if you didn't build in full capabilities for macros, just like explicit like serialization, deserialization, um, semantics and syntax, like that would be huge. Because that's like, I feel like that's like 75% of macros in other languages, just data serialization, deserialization as part of the LSP. Sweet. Yeah, I really need to dive into the LSP code base because that's I would really enjoy contributing to the LSP. Um, what do we need to do here? We need to give this a decoder, and we'll say of JSON. Is that not a decoder? Oh, this needs to get called probably. Or what did we say this needs to take? This takes another decoder. So we'll say decoder. Oops. Is metaprogramming kind of like JSX? So you can think of metaprogramming and macros as imagine you could write Gleam code in your Gleam code that runs at compile time and generates new code for you. That's such a mouthful. Uh, it's code that compiles and runs at build time rather than runtime, and it generates code for you to use at runtime. So you could think about, let's say I have this user object up here, right? And like I'm making this syntax up, but like imagine it's like Rust, right? It's like at deriving, I don't even know what Rust is, but imagine I did something like deriving JSON, right? And then at compile time, Gleam's compiler would see this annotation and be like, oh, this is a macro. I know that when I see this block, I'm going to run some code to generate this block of code right here. That's kind of how macros work. we add Gleam code into your Gleam code so you can code Gleam while coding Gleam. Yeah, brother. But you could actually, you know what? Now that you say JSX, like that's actually kind of a good example, right? It's not necessarily a macro, but it does get compiled to other code. So you can kind of, yeah, it's like at least in the same vein of an idea. All right, what is this upset about? Expected a type of string to result AB, but found a decoder. Right. So let's do this one bit at a time here. I will say, Haley, like that's the one thing that like if I'm starting a new project, like do I want to take the time to fight OCaml's build tooling or can I just jump right in with Gleam? Like that's the part that like already like pulls me towards Gleam. Like I said, like I definitely still like OCaml more than Gleam at this point, but like I feel like it's just so much easier to work with Gleam, which that barrier of resistance is says a lot over time. All right, let's remove this annotation here for a second and let it get inferred just to see what we're dealing with. Let's go ahead and assign this to just like X, and we'll say Twitch API response decoder. And this is going to take another decoder. And here we'll just still say of JSON again. And this is, what is this? Yeah, okay, that's what we would expect. So do we then, oh, we probably want a of JSON. So let's take this guy then and say function Twitch API response. We'll probably put this into another module or into the client here in a second. Let's say this takes JSON, and we're gonna just let that infer. So in here we say JSON.decode. This will take I'm so like brainwashed from OCaml using of instead of from. Char string, don't you ever hate on my eval keyword. Let me see if I can find a funny tweet here related to that. From Dylan Mulroy eval. This is probably, I'm never gonna find this. This was like 2 months ago. I replied to Tech Savvy Travi and used eval for some sort of joke tweet. Thank you there for the follow, Dan. Super appreciate you. And this will be, I don't know, we'll just use the same thing here. And then this will get, right. This will be JSON string. This is actually a string. And we'll get JSON string. And then we'll say Twitch API response decoder and of. Oh. Okay. We still owe John a look at the code. So let's do that quick. Okay. So we have RGB to hex. If x is greater than 0 and x is less than or equal to 255, true, okay. Where does validate come from? Oh, validate's internal. Duh. No, I think this is stuff fold. I'm not sure I would do this. I would probably just interpolate a string together rather than folding over it, but yeah, I think this is totally reasonable. Another thing I might do is move the validate function outside of this scope so you're not recreating that function every time. But yeah, I think this is exactly, you're like onto the right pattern here. Okay. Winnie. Good lord. These freaking dogs. We gotta go. I gotta stop using of JSON. The Gleam way is from JSON. So let's rename that. Let's go ahead and do this. I actually made a really cool, me and one of my coworkers at my last company made a really nice color library that I've been wanting to port to a camel, and maybe I'll port it to Gleam. Haley, could you link that Gleam community color thing? Let me see if I can find it in here. Oh, did we not open source it? Oh no. RIP. I thought I open sourced that. Damn, that sucks. That was such a useful library. Well, if anyone's looking for a bunch of nice TypeScript functional programming utilities, this repo's got a lot that you can basically just copy and paste without bringing in some heavy dependencies. I bet this ends up looking a bunch like, yeah, this actually looks so much like what we built. The only thing we did different was that our color, oh, it is opaque. Never mind. Yeah, you did the same exact thing. Yeah, this is like almost the same API. Nice. We had like an extension for it for working with Tailwind, and Tailwind's like color weight system. Like it was really, really nice to use. Heavy dependencies. I like my dependencies like light. Like left pattern is odd. All right, so this should say, should be able to say Twitch API from JSON, and then we'll say this takes a decoder of, right? It takes a decoder, yeah, decoder. Incorrect arity, expected 2 arguments. Oh, right, we need to do the little underscore thing. Nice. Okay, yeah, we can make that public. Look at that, chat. So this should actually be able to go to, if we say, whoops, let's keep that, jump over here. This is gonna return a result of response list user and get users error. All right, so we're almost there. What does it think we're returning right now? Whoops. Oh, it's getting that back. So we have to, I want to get out the data. So let's just say, yeah, we should probably soon make this another module for this thing. Whatever, we'll just keep prototyping in here because it's fine. Twitch API, get data. And this will take a API response, and that'll be a Twitch API response of some data type we don't know, and we're going to return the data. Can I do that? It should be fine, right? API response dot data. Oh, that's a list of data, right? Is it always a list? I don't think it is always a list. But for now, we'll say it's a list. We can have different constructors for that. So do that. And we'll come down here and we'll pipe that into response.tryMap. And we'll say Twitch API get data. Is that not right? What does it say we're returning right now? Twitch API. If we do what I just did, expected type response A, found type response. That's the right. Oh, that should be fine. We're mapping. Oh, it needs to take a response. Right. So we can just compose this even more. So we'll just say fun Twitch API. Let's actually rename this to response. API response. And that will get replaced down here. Paste that in, comment that. Okay. Twitch API response. What do we want to do here? How does OTP work with Gleam? There is a fantastic repo that we went through on stream the other morning. That is an intro to OTP with Gleam, and it's very, very good, and it's well written and funny and educational, and yeah, very good. So the problem we are solving right now is that we need to map a response. So it's like Twitch API response from response. Yeah, I shouldn't even need to say that. And we'll change this down here, and we'll say that. Let's make this a function so we get our trees that are highlighting back. This will take a response, which will be a response of Twitch API response of some data that we don't care about. And I guess a request error. Let's check the type of this. Get users error. Okay. This will just take some error, I guess. It can be generic. Chat, I will be right back in like 3 minutes. Give me a quick second here to take care of something. Okay, sorry, chat. I had to take care of something with a work migration real quick. I just wanted to go actually have space to work on that. So we're good now. That should be running. I actually need to grab a new OAuth token quick. Otherwise, it's going to start making noises, which we will probably hear in just a short second. So let's re-authenticate there. Log in. That should give me a new token. That's my new token. Grab that. Come here. Go to env. Oh, I think we beat it, chat. I think we beat it. Okay. We are back here and we are decoding Twitch API response. Which one is expecting 2 arguments here? Twitch API response shouldn't be. That just takes 1. Response. That's closed up. That's closed up. Where's my incorrect arity here? Let's see. HTTP. Or we want to look at response. Okay. Describe the world. Use a function literal. Okay. Well, I'm just going to recreate those because I love those functions. Well, let's not worry about that right now. What up, Scully doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Thank you for the follow. What? Is that just implicit? What up, Sign? Been following your content on YouTube, first time on Twitch. Love your content, by the way. Which keyboard are you using? Love that clicky sound. Nice. I'm super stoked to hear that. I haven't had many people like find me from YouTube, so that's super cool to hear that people are actually finding that content. My keyboard is a Keychron Q4, and also since you're new, if you hang out, you'll build up bytes or points, and you can spend 1,000 of them for a chance to win a keyboard like mine. Which that little bot thing I just did is one of the first things we're going to rewrite with this Twitch client we're making. And this will be, I assume I could do foobar in here. Yeah, okay. So I just want to confirm my thoughts here. If I do this and then I came up here and I said import Gleam / function. Not yet, but we have to be getting close. Like statistically, it has to be soon. I'm going to mute this sound just for a moment. So I think I can use the function.compose. I just want to confirm that my intuition is correct here, even though it's deprecated. Louis, I don't know if you're still around, but what was the I mean, I guess I understand the decision here to deprecate these. But I feel like these are super useful functions to have when you need them. Function compose, and this will be Twitch API response from data and okay. Yeah, that's what I want. I love function compose. All right, so let's go, since this is deprecated, let's go write our own version of compose. So let's go to extended, and we'll put in function extended.gleam. Yes, take that, and we'll say pub function compose. In fact, we can probably just copy the source here. Paste that in. Beautiful. And now we'll have that without deprecation warnings. And let's get rid of that. And we'll come down here to import glitch / extended Oh man, I need that to be like delayed. Extended / function extension. And then down here, we'll do function extended and do compose there. Is that the right type we want? Yeah, that is the right type we want. Does Gleam have interop with C? If Erlang has interop with C, you could do your FFI in Erlang and then write a FFI to that Erlang. I just don't know if Erlang has FFI to C. Oh, wait, what? That's not quite what I thought it would be. Oh, no, this is the right thing. Yoink. And we'll put this here. It compiles down to the Erlang VM. I mean, you can compile to JavaScript too, or you can compile to the Erlang VM. It's like Elixir. So this will be data, and this will be error. Yeah. One thing that I wish that the LSP did, I should make notes of this, that I can cut issues later. Gleam notes. LSP. Potentially debounce circular import warnings, and then if I name in hover docs for inferred types, if I name a polymorphic parameter / generic, use my name instead of alpha or beta. And we'll come back over here and we'll grab this as an example. And I don't need those. Oops, actually, if this is going to be a dick about it, this ends up getting inferred as in the hover docs. Yoink. What up, Wiru? How are you? I just want a nice, clean language I can use for my scripting things from within C, like Lua. Yeah, I was getting ready to say exactly what Lewis said. You're looking for Lua. So now we should be able to use Twitch API response from response. Or not. Or no, hold on. That's still not right. Response list data. That's actually, that's what I want. That is the right type. So if I should get user out of this. Should I not? Like if we do function test, and I get this guy right here. Let's just say I get the same thing. And then we say in here, we return Twitch API response from response and pass out our response. What? Okay. And then let's say this is going to end up being a user instead, right? Response list of user A. That's what I would expect. So that's inferring correctly. Mapping on which thing? Sorry. Yeah, right here. You're saying, have you considered just using map instead? As in mapping on the result? I think I see what you're saying. So you do like a result.map. Or that's not even a result, right? The thing I'm doing here is wrapping. Okay. Like I was trying to follow you, and then I think we both arrived at the same conclusion at the same time. The thing I'm a little confused about is why this is having an issue down here. So when we do this, let's just assign this variable real quick, and we'll just return okay nil for a second. And let's assign this to x, and we have a result. But okay, so the thing we want to get from this is actually, rather than this type, we want to get to this type, which is what this guy right here should be doing. And this is upset now. So expected a type of response A. Throw in the good old identity function here, and let's see what this is. Oh, interesting. You need to change the second response try to result.try. Oh, right. Right. That makes total sense, because this doesn't return a response again. It returns, yep. Thank you, Haley. You are a genius. Look at that. The redemption arc in less than 5 minutes. There we go. Awesome. Excellent. That is the exact type that we want inferred, but let's annotate it so we never break our contract. There we go. Lovely. If that's not beautiful looking code for making an API request, chat, I don't know what is. Like, find me another language that you can make a request, encode it, decode it, and manipulate the response and handle errors as succinctly and eloquently as that code. You're not going to find it. Ain't happening. Yo, Ryan can get out of here. Ryan can go hang out in his untyped world of Elixir and, you know, be a stubborn old man up on the coast of Canada. Yeah, Gleam is really, really nice. Gleam is probably my favorite syntax in a language. See you, Haley. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate your help. Have a, I guess you're across the pond, so have a lovely afternoon and evening. All right, let's do a commit here before I end up nuking my workspace. And let's say update get users. Oops. And can we build right now? We can. Let's try running. All right, so we got an unexpected format error while we're decoding. On the field, I don't know what nothing means. Yeah, that would be awesome. If you do end up contributing, it'd be sweet if you shared your experience on how you got started contributing to the LSP in our Discord. Yeah, I really like the dynamic library too, Roasted. I need to go look up what this second, what that second field means there, though. So let's jump back to the standard library, and we'll go to dynamic, and we'll look at, Roasted, I hadn't considered describing dynamic as like Zod, but that's a really good way to put it and teach it. I like that. Where's the decode error? Is that part of this, or is this the JSON? Decode error. Expected found path. Is that the expected field found nothing at data start email? So do we not get an email back on this JSON blob? Oh, we don't. So that's an optional field. So let's go up here and email. Well, that says it's an optional string. So maybe our optional type doesn't work here. Gleam.dynamic.field checks to see if a dynamic value is a map, returns the value of it. This will not succeed on a record. We might need to write our own field, like optional field. They have an optional field. Would you look at that, chat? which means we might not need this dynamic optional, right? So this will be optional, and then I think we can get rid of this. This can just be dynamic.string. Hey, look at that. There it is. The first successful full round trip in Gleam to an API. At least for me, right? And I'm pretty happy with our pattern. Nice. Louis or Haley left, but I wonder if there's a way to pretty print this with the IO module. Wiro, you'll find option and results in most functional programming languages. And in fact, for all you TypeScript aficionados out there, I actually recommend trying to use like build your own result type and option type in TypeScript and use that rather than throwing. So I wonder what happens if we debug print this. So let's man, I'm so stoked this worked. This is like so nice. That's so nice. Let's go tweet that. Let's see how Carbon does. We could probably open a pull request to Carbon to add Gleam syntax to here. Fun fact, chat. Carbon was the first open source contribution I ever made. And the feature I added is still there. This reset settings button, that was your boy. Right here. Back in like 2016 or 2017, I added this reset settings as my first open source contribution ever. Let's just say this is Rust. Oh God. Oh God. That's too much of a distracting background. Oh, that would have been a good one. I clicked too quick. Oh, that would be a good one. They should add some sort of gallery now. Random images feels weird. Potentially. You should fork it and Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too, John. So we probably want to rename this like that. What do you think, chat? Is that a good screenshot? Let's just check like how like Elm does in the syntax highlighting. Not great. What about OCaml? Not really any better. F sharp, not better. That's not bad. That puts some contrast on the function call. Swift's not bad. Ooh, Elixir does pretty well. Yeah, we'll do Elixir. Name a better language. We gotta shop the language here. Name. I can't think of a language where performing a request cycle, including serialization, and deserialization. I can't think of a language where performing looks this nice and is as simple as this. Gleam is winning my heart. Let's go ahead and add the text. I can't think of a language of performing a aggressive sign like clean station. Looks as nice as simple as this. Gleam is winning my heart. Boom. Beautiful. If anyone wants to go interact with the tweet, I would appreciate that. And I'm sure the Gleam folks would appreciate that as well. All right, this song sucks. All right, that's better. Okay, sweet. I am super happy with this. This is such a nice little pattern here. So let's move this response stuff. Let's move it into here. Let's make it its own module. Let's do a little v-split, and we'll pull up users, and we'll take you down to here, yoink you over here, put this in here. We'll want that, throw that in there. And then we need a response. And what do we have set about JSON? Come over here, paste that in there. Function extension. And this will be pub function. Same with you and same with you. All right, so let's clean this up now. I'm gonna go throw my coffee mug on the charger too, chat. I'll be right back. And we back. So we don't need to rename this. So let's say this can just be decoder now, right? So we don't have rename, but this can just be decoder. And this can just be from JSON, right? Yep. Oh, right, I can't rename that. From JSON, and this will be data. Get data. Whoops, gotta do this. Get data. And then this will be data from response, right? Get data from response. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. Thank you for the follow. Oh man, Fernando L. Gayer. Oh man, Guevara. Gotta butcher that one. Apologize. Nope. Straight up ChatGPT /Dolly. I have a typo down there. Oh well. Wouldn't be a post by me without a typo. So now we can actually use this little module in our user. We can get rid of all of this, which will give us a bunch of type errors, which is okay, because we're going to come down here and we're going to say import glitch / API / response. And we're going to bring in the type, which will be Twitch API response. Duplicate import. Oh, shit. I see. So let's make this API response. I don't want to rename the import. I don't like that. And then we can say API response, and this will say from JSON. And this will be API response dot get data from response. Nice. Nice. And let's make sure that's still running. Thank you for the follow, RNS code, and welcome. That's how I feel too, Meow. I started using NeoVim in September, October of 2022. So going on 2 years now. I wish I would have started earlier. Boom, still a successful response. You love to see it. Okay. This is looking pretty good, chat. We've got some nice patterns here now. The other thing we might want to consider is making like a request module as well, depending on like what all we're doing in here. Yeah, we should do that. So let's do the same thing. Gleaming, streaming. Thank you for the raid, Shaq the man. How was your stream? What were you guys working on? O'Camel, right? We had to be doing some O'Camel. I definitely butchered your name. What's the right way to say your name? I apologize. I should know this. Shaktiman. 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 Am I getting close? I apologize for my Americanism. Or my Americanness here. That is right? Okay, cool. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's really elegant language. I'm really enjoying it. Especially, it's very natural coming from a camel. Yeah, it's definitely super nice having them here. Very appreciative of that. That's going to create a circular dependency. I can't pass client in here. So I'm looking at moving some of this request stuff out of our client module and into a like actual request module. And I would end up importing from request into client. But if I also had a client here to pull off the headers, that would create the circular dependency. So like I would need a function where it's like, I would probably just need to do, let's write this quick. We'll do get v2. And this, we can basically copy this actually. And we'll call this v2. Rather than this, we would do like let client headers equals headers client. And then we would do something like we would import this is the thing I want debounced. API, this would be request, right? And then down here we would be like API request dot from normal request, and we would do let merged headers equals merge headers, client headers, and request dot headers. Probably. Did I get that right? Base headers, new headers. Yeah. In fact, we can copy that. And then you can say, we could do request dot 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 request, and headers is going to be headers. We got to go import that. Yeah, we would do something like that. That seems okay. So over here, then we want to copy basically the rest of this. I gotta refresh my OAuth token. Thank you for the follow, Ray March. All right, that should be good there. That's looking good. Utilization's looking fine. No unexpected errors. Okay. Okay, that all looks good. So we don't need to do a bunch of this, right? So we can come down here. We'll already have the headers. We don't need to set the method. We can do that. Host, we need to go back up here to grab. And we'll throw that in here. And then yeah. So we'll go bring in HTTPS. I guess that just comes from the HTTP module. So import Gleam /HTTP, and we'll bring in HTTPS. Click there. We need to set query string. Yeah. Do we really need to do that? I don't think we need this, right? That'll already be a string. I don't think we need that either. So we really just update the body. Thank you for the follow there, Rick Dev. Appreciate you. All right, let's switch up the music. What's the best way to learn coding? MERN stack, according to you? I would not say the MERN stack is the best way to learn coding. I would not recommend Mongo as your first database at all. I think having a NoSQL database be your first database is a disservice. Yeah, I think everyone should learn relational databases first and start with like NoSQL, or no, NoSQL, SQLite, excuse me. So this is really going to be request, request, and headers will be headers. So headers, and method will be get. Thank you for the follow, Camel Case Based and Exib. The green play icon. I have never considered that it even looked like that. Wait, what are we doing wrong here? What? That is not a string at all. This should be a request of JSON. What are we doing wrong here? Oh, this needs to be... No, that's right. Oh, we don't pass it the client. Yeah, duh. All right, let's make sure this still runs. Dave, are you lurking right now? By chance? All right, chat, we feeling lucky? Let's go. Wonderful. Someone linked earlier a pretty print that I got up and walked away right after someone pretty print. There it is. All right, and let's just compare the difference here. So if we go into, oops, here, and we say, oh, that is the result. So if we Gleam add pretty print, oh shit, this thing is, how do I get to the, this is really old. Yeah, this hasn't been touched since 2021. That's okay. We don't need to worry about pretty printing right now. For all hat said p print. Okay, so let's Gleam remove pretty print. Sweet. P print. So does installing on dev, if I tried to build with this, would it give me warnings? So if we then Gleam add pprint, and we'll say import pprint, and we can just make this pprint. Winnie. Relax. Sorry, chat. Someone just, Justine's getting ready to come in through the front door, so there will probably be a little bit more barking in a second. Hey, look at that, chat. Thank you, Raw Hat. Legend as always. So would you find dogs behind the place?
I know I smell terrible, guys. I'm so sorry. So we were driving back from the gym. I also... Please stop.
Bodie.
That's not Bodie.
Oh, Brindley. Down.
So we were driving back from the gym, and you know the gas station that's right there? There's a BP. Yeah. And then there's like an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah.
And then there's a storage unit thing.
Okay.
So we had turned, we were about to pass the like warehouse thing, and then we saw this dog, and it looked like they had a leash on, and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody like lost their dog. So we stopped, and I went out to try and get the dog. The dog ran away in between like the alley between the storage unit and like the warehouse, and I was like, I'm just gonna check. I go, and there's a dog tied to a stroller, dumped.
Oh.
And like that's out of the way. Nobody's walking there.
Yeah.
So someone left them there. And the other one had been tied. They were tied with the same thing. It was around their throat. Tied to the stroller. Just dumped. The other one had gotten loose.
What'd you do? Did you call like Jane or somebody?
I called animal control.
Oh yeah.
Because I know if like I don't know how it would work if I were to take them to the shelter, because shelters are full right now. There's a wait list.
Yeah.
And we waited for like 45 minutes for animal control, and I was about, like, the one I was able to pick up, I got, because it was tight around their throat. So I was able to untie it. They fell asleep in my arms.
Aww.
I gave them the rest of my water. Like, they were slurping it up. I don't know how long they had been there.
That's so sad.
Like, they were obviously at one point someone's pets, and it was weird because the one like had good weight on it, but the other was just skin and bones. Like I could feel every single one of the divots like in his back.
What animal control say when they got there?
They were just so happy like that we found them, because like no one goes there.
Yeah, they would have just probably
starved to death.
Yeah.
The one would have been fine because it got loose.
Well, I'm glad you found them.
Yeah. I now have, because I had them like in my hoodie.
Which dog was that?
That Bodie just checked Winnie. Because
Good.
I had them in like my hoodie and had them wrapped up, so I took that off and left it like outside, same with my shoes, because I'm gross.
I'll go take a shower. We'll chat then.
Ah.
Good job.
Thank you, I did my good deed.
You saved them. Chat said, well done, Justine.
Thank you. I'm gonna go cry now. I don't have any wine. I gotta work.
Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Great. Let's commit, and we'll say get users or refactor request. To API request. Push. Bet. I don't know why this is upset. I wonder if that's just like cached. There we go. That's better. Sweet. This has to return nil, right? Does debug return? Yeah, there we go. Oh, debug returns a... Oh, that's weird. Okay, so we can get users. What is the next thing we need to do? Let's go look at the API. In fact, we should probably go... Let's actually go look at my existing integration, because I want to just build the bare minimum so I just don't go down the rabbit hole of trying to implement this whole API and then never finishing or ending up using it. I want to get this into like a workable state for myself. Where is my Twitch integrations? I need to not click my environment file because I will dox my token. Here we go. We need to figure out scopes. We need a chat client. We need to be able to pay attention to redemptions. Okay. So we need to send a chat message. So that's one thing we need to do for sure. So let's do that next. Let's go ahead here, API, and we'll say chat.gleam. And then let's go ahead and pull this up. So this is a post. All right, so let's work on implementing this next. And let's use our user as boilerplate. How do I know if I should stop using VS Code and start/learn to NeoVim? I would say rather than making a hard switch to NeoVim, enable the Vim extension in VS Code and learn Vim motions. And then once you have like that down, you can switch over to NeoVim. It's a pretty big jump learning the motions and the configuration all at once. What's the name of that endpoint? Send chat message. So we'll say send message. Send chat. Send message. And I don't know what this is going to take yet, so we'll just say to do. And this is going to have a request body of, I guess we can just half screen this for now. We'll say pub type send message request. And this will have a, let's go up to here. Let's actually split this vertically so we have a little bit more space. Thank you for the follow there, Abdiga. Hopefully I got that right. Probably not. And this is going to have a broadcaster ID. Which will be a string. It will have a sender ID, which will be a string, of message, which is a string. And then the last bit will be reply parent message. Reply parent message ID, which is going to be a option string. Coppinger, my man, isn't it like late for you? What time is it? 2:34. Goodness, brother, get some sleep. Folks, this doesn't happen very often that we get the man, the myth, the Coppinger in our stream. But if you're not following him, I highly recommend it. He's a huge inspiration to me. All around, great vibes, and just a legend. One of the best streams on Twitch, in my opinion. Import Gleam / option, and then we want to bring in the option constructor. That'd be sum. Right. Oh, we won't need that. We'll do type option. Okay, so now we have our request body. And let's close this out and vertically split and go to user. And we'll want to add our encoder. And we'll say thank you for the follows there, Nifran and Callum. I did, yeah, we got a shout out to Cop. Okay, wanted to make sure. So let's say yeah, brother, go get some sleep, man. Have a good sleep. Thank you for the follow there, Hamaza. Have a wonderful time zone. Fun. We'll say send send message request decoder. Or we don't even need decoder. Send message request to JSON. And this is going to take a say request will be a send message request, and this is going to return JSON. And in here we'll say gotta import JSON. So it's just Gleam /JSON. Yeah. JSON.object. And then we're gonna have a tuple where this is going to be broadcaster ID. And this will be JSON.string request.broadcaster ID. Paste that. This is a comma, yeah. Sender ID. This will be message. And this is gonna have to be like, do we have an option? Yeah, nice. So we basically want to do the same thing here. Whoops. Does this have any query params on it? Okay, so no query params. Okay. So we can say, this will take a client and a request, which will be a send message request, and we're going to return a result of a response of, see this again? Yeah. Thank you for the follow, AK ad. Appreciate you. I wonder if this should be, well, we'll just use the same type for now. Let's be list. Oh, we need a result type message. So let's say we have a pub type message. Pub type message. And this will have a single constructor called message, which will have a message ID, which will be a string, and a is sent, which will be a boolean. A boolean? A bool. And let's write a decoder for that. So we'll say pub, we'll just say function message decoder is going to return a decoder, which we want to grab from there. And we'll say this will have a dynamic dot decode to, and this will decode to a message, and we'll say dynamic field. And that'll be message ID. I want to see if I can get this to send a chat message before we dynamic wrap up stream here in a bit. I don't even know what the song was. There we go. We can do Seaway.
Okay. Have ours eaten?
No.
Okay.
So theoretically, we should be able to send a message now, chat. Let's build. Okay. And let's go grab the things we need for this request is a broadcaster ID and a sender ID, which I think, if you look at my GitHub, I do the same thing over here. Oh, we need to authorize with particular scopes. So this must be my user ID. I don't know if I'm authorized with the right scopes. Does that match what yeah, that's okay, so let's copy that and let's go to our main, and let's go ahead down here and say, should say const user ID. And we want to say, this will be chat. So I have an access token. I have a client ID. I wonder if I can assign. Hold on, I'm gonna open this in another tab. Thank you for the resubscription. 3 months. Let's go. This is from American Eagle, I think. Justine, where's my t-shirt from?
What?
Where's my t-shirt from?
I'll tell you in a second.
I think it's from Come Ride Gleam with me today. So let's say we want to do a send message request.
Let me see your shirt. That's Abercrombie.
Abercrombie, from Abercrombie.
I'll double check.
We'll say send
Yeah, Abercrombie.
message request. This needs a broadcaster ID. Which will be user ID. And then we need user ID, right? Sender ID. Which will be user ID. And then message will be hello from Gleam. Hello from Glitch.
Don't let me forget that I have my sneakers on the front porch.
Okay. What else does this need? Broadcaster reply. Oh, that is a keyword. And theoretically, we'd be able to do like let result equals chat dot send message request. And we can do that. That needs the client. Not yet, Wiru. Okay, so we must have got a, let's try to send this request from here. So let's say new HTTP request, and this will be, let's copy this, and this will be that. This will be a post. Can I rename this? Chat send message. And this will be, let's rename this. This will be users, user get users. This will be a post, and this goes to, what was the endpoint? Well, hold on. Let's just use this, pull that up. Okay, and the body is going to be JSON, and the JSON is going to have broadcaster ID, and this will be the result of this, right? We can just grab that. What's that? Okay, broadcaster ID will be that. I assume that's the same thing, right? Is a broadcaster ID different from a sender ID? Like if I'm sending to my channel, why are those different colors? It's kind of weird. And then message the hello chat. And the headers will be, we can probably copy these headers. Client ID. And there'll be client ID and authorization, which is going to get set up over here. It'll be bearer token. .404 not found. Oh, because we didn't put the endpoint in. It's going to be chat/messages. What? Oh, these need to be strings. What up, Ninja? The sender must have authorized the app. Okay, how do we do that? We need to get a token. We just need a new token. We're so close. Get started. How do I send scopes in? Damn it. Okay, I can eat that. Because we're going to have to wrap up here. We're super close. All right, so we're gonna have to do this tomorrow to get a token. All right, tomorrow we will get send message working like first thing in the morning. So that'll be cool and fun to work on. I'll push these changes and let's find somebody to raid. We got Tej going. We got Spiro going. Should probably raid Spiro. Yeah, let's do Spiro. I also don't get to raid Spiro very often. All right, chat, go show Spiro some love, and we will be back tomorrow morning, same time. Wait, is Spiro not actually on? Yeah, he is. Yeah, bet. All right, chat. Thank you so much for all the new followers and subs. I appreciate all of you. We'll be back again doing Gleam tomorrow morning.